Welcome, Coach Charles Awodu.
Good evening, sir.
Awodu.
Yes, sir.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Awodu.
Awodu.
Yes.
You're welcome to this Leadership Blueprint podcast. I know we've been interacting over the past few months. I cannot really tell the exact time. I know you started making comments on my podcast. I can't really tell, but I just suddenly discovered the consistency of that regular comment, and then it made me to pay a little more attention to you. And while I did that, I suddenly realized that you are also into leadership, and then I began to see some of the work that you've been doing, which for me is very, very impressive. I love the space that you are occupying in terms of leadership development among teenagers and teens, to be precise. I also see that quite a number of younger generation become published through your mentorship. They've been able to publish their books, and they've been able to do all kinds of things that you would think that this is meant for the adults. So I want to use this opportunity to thank you for the work that you are doing, and for locating that population and pouring leadership content into them, because truly speaking, they are the future of Africa. And so I want to thank you for the good work you're doing. And I believe and I know that our audience, those who have been listening to this podcast, and those who are under the age of 35, will greatly benefit from the wealth of experience that you are bringing to this conversation. I know you've gone through many routes of learning about leadership. I know you've been with John Maxwell. I know you are a certified coach from John Maxwell company. And I know you've also been with Winners Chapel in Nigeria, and you've gone through so many great leaders who have poured into yourself, and I'm sure that our viewers are going to benefit from that wealth of experience that you'll be bringing to this conversation. So if we are to find out what leadership means, I think we've come to the right person, having been in that space for some time. So, Coach, I want to ask you, what is leadership? So that our viewers in the house can be able to describe to their children, to their family, to their loved ones, to their friends, to their family, that this is what leadership is. Coach, what is leadership?
Thank you, sir, for the privilege to be here tonight to share my knowledge on leadership. And to our dear viewers, once again, my name is Charles Awodu. Leadership is influence. Leadership is influence. the ability to inspire people towards achieving a common goal. Everything about leadership, once again, has to do with influence. So some people, they believe that leadership is just about position. Having some people in politics as directors. No, we are all leaders. And every day we are influencing people, age notwithstanding, position notwithstanding, because it has to do with influence. And every day, irrespective of who you are, old, young, you are influencing people through your words, your actions, your relationship. You are influencing people. People in the, kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school, they are all leaders. As long as you influence people, you are a leader.
Now, Coach, that word influence is very, very powerful. If I understand what you are trying to say, does it now mean that as a leader, I can, because if you say leadership is influence, does it mean that as a leader, all I should concentrate my effort towards is just to make people do things? What kind of things should a leader make people do? Because somebody who influences another person to commit crime, in that context, can also be called a leader. Now, for example, Adolf Hitler, who influenced a whole nation to commit genocide against the Jews, can he be considered a leader? Somebody who influences other guys in the college to practice cultism and then do all sorts of social vices, can they also be called a leader? Because by the definition of leadership, you said it is influence. What kind of influence are we talking about here?
Yes. Influence that I'm referring to here is positive influence. Because the beginning of leadership has to do with good character. That is the foundation of leadership. True leadership. So it has to do with responsibility. You see, the influence has to breed responsibility, service, and transformation. So if your influence is not adding values to people, you are taking away from people. That is bad leader. So, and in the world today, we have good leaders, we have bad leaders. But what defines the quality of a leader has to do with his or her character.
The positive influence there.
Yeah. And it all begins with God. Leadership begins with God. And to date, we are still enjoying the positive impact of leadership right from creation.
Now, if I want to go back to what leadership means for you, definitely I can imagine that leadership as an idea, as a concept for you must have a beginning. There must be a particular point in time in your life when that idea of leadership began to form in your heart, when you began to conceive leadership as a worthy pursuit in your life journey. So can you take us through the memory lane and tell us when the very first time that the leadership idea began to form in your heart?
Thank you, sir. If I'm going to start, I will say right from when I was young. My mom is a fashion designer. So she has a lot of apprentices. So before I started kindergarten, so they used to take me to the, office. So she used to, group the apprentice according to their expertise. So those that have been there for years will be the senior, teaching others that are just joining. So from there, I began to look at the senior, the most senior, when she will be standing to teach others. And if any one of them made mistakes, maybe when they were trying to iron cloth, there's a way they talk to them. Sometimes maybe as you are going to buy this cloth. So I do observe, and from there I want to teach people, because the senior will be teaching others, will be giving them responsibility, what to do, most especially when my mom travels. So from there, I learned responsibility, which is the core aspect of leadership. So from there, when I started primary school, because I school in Nigeria, we call it the elementary school. In America, we call it primary school over there. So I started primary school, primary one, and each time my teacher, maybe in the morning, maybe from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., maybe we did math. So once she finished writing, she will ask us, "Are you done?" We say, "Yes, ma'am." So the next thing I will do, I will rush out, I will pick the duster and clean up. So I never knew what I was actually doing. I never knew that I was practicing leadership. After a few months, I was appointed class captain. So they will give me paper in case if anybody, did something that get off class rules and regulations. So I will be the person to write the name of the person and submit to the teacher later. So that continues. When I get to the next class, every teacher started making, they keep appointing me to be class captain, class captain, class captain. When I got to 4th grade, I was appointed to be part of the 6th grade school prefect as a whole. So I began to learn leadership. I just want to help my friends to do better. So, and if we are on the soccer page, I want to be goalkeeper. I don't want our team to lose. But I never knew that I was practicing leadership. But the true, that thing has been in me without knowing. So anywhere I go, I want to make sure that everyone, we do the right thing. And I started influencing people right from my childhood. And when I finished, I got to the secondary school. Then in Nigeria, if you just resume new school, we'll be asked to cut grass, around the school. The first time I did well, from there, a teacher pointed at me, you'll be the class captain, you oversee any assignment given to your class. So that has been, but after some time, when I got to United States of America, that thing, I began to realize that, look, I'm called for something different. I studied accounting, and by the grace of God, I practiced accounting back in Africa and in the United States here. But I discovered myself, that full self-awareness came up. And I chose to go back to Northeastern University to study leadership. So I didn't go to Northeastern to study leadership so that I would say I beg to apply. I just want to know more about it so that I can practice it. So they asked me to write an essay about why I want to study leadership. And I could still remember what I'm doing in the community right now is what I put in my essay. I just want to see that people keep getting better, keep adding values to themselves and the community. Because I believe that community belongs to every one of us, irrespective of our religion or color. So my positive input is adding to the overall growth and development of the nation. So, and with that, I, see the need to keep multiplying myself, my values, so that more people will keep doing something positive to influence the society.
Thank you, Coach. To be very frank, those who have not seen the work that you are doing, probably maybe they need to visit your Facebook page, your WhatsApp, your website, and see some of the great work that you are doing, particularly among the younger ones. Is really, really impressive. And I just hope that more people will buy into that vision and really give their children the lifts that they need to grow their leadership potential. Definitely for somebody to possess an aspiration to become a leader and to begin to see himself as a leader, definitely that person must have been impressed by somebody. There must be somebody somewhere who has modeled leadership for you, who has role play what it means to be a leader, and who has always been that man or woman you have always looked up to, that is making you to feel that, oh, I also can function in this capacity and influence my generation for good. So I just want to ask, who are some of the greatest leaders that have impacted you and made a definite imprint on your life in your pursuit of leadership journey?
Thank you, sir. I have a lot of them because I follow leaders. I buy their books. I love reading books, biographies. I will mention just few, and I will start with, you know, those that I was looking onto when I was small. Like I said earlier, when I was appointed to be the class captain when I was in elementary school, sometimes my teacher will ask me to go to a newspaper vendor to go and pick newspaper for the school. From there, I used to read. We used to have, the man is late now. They call him Gani Fawayimi in Nigeria. So I love reading his write-up, and I cherish the fact that every year, whenever the man is celebrating, was celebrating his birthday, he used to gather the needy, the cripple, the blind, and celebrate them. I'll be reading it on the newspaper. I look at it, look at this man, very rich, very highly placed individual in the midst of the less privileged. So I have that imprint in me from there that someday I would like to do for the less privileged. Secondly, I have Bishop David Oyedepo. I came across him. I worked with him for more than 7 years, even at a supervisory role when I was at Covenant University. I remember when I finished my NYSC in my country. After you finish college, you have to serve your country for 1 year. After I finished my NYC, I get back to Lagos. Was with my brother. I have everything I need. Was not, every weekend my brother will give me money. I'm doing, But I went to church that day, and the man of God was preaching, and he said, after graduation, if you are still collecting money from your parents, your uncle, he said, you are a disappointment. So I got home that week. I couldn't afford it. Then on Monday, I began to, I looked for a nearby school and I started teaching. Then I began to earn money. So my brother would like to, I said, no, I have money. After a while, I told him I want to go and rent a house. He said, look, I hope you have not started working with bad friend. I said, no, I had a word from the church. The man of God said that we are still at home sitting with our parents, still collecting money. He said, go out, go and find something to do. Go and teach in schools. And that word, when I started teaching in that private school, parents just loved me. From there, people began to give me business card. Go to this company, go to this company.
Wow.
So I myself, I was at home being comfortable doing good because my uncle said, okay, job will come. This job was, if I get this appointment today, another one next week. So parents, so I can't forget that in my life. Anytime I just remember or I see the name of the man of God, Bishop David Oyedepo, I've heard so many of his preaching, but that one I can't forget.
Never forgot.
Yeah. And another one was John Maxwell. I remember when I discovered myself very fresh about what I really love to do, the kind of contribution I love to make in the life of the younger generation. I was looking for people that could listen to me about what I wanted to do. I tried to explain to few people. They tried, but they couldn't get me. I chose to sign up for John Maxwell leadership program. I was able to meet him one-on-one, and I just wrote my first book that time. I took it to him. He saw it. He said, "You did this? How long? What's the job?" He encouraged me, and he told me a lot of stuff. He recommended some books for me to read. So I was able to pour my mind to him, and he was able to give me that push that, yeah, he told me that if you want to grow in your leadership journey, there will be storm, people will not understand you, but just keep going and make sure that you keep adding value. Aim at adding value. That was the word he gave me. Then he got a copy of my book and he said, "Look, come, I want to have a pictures now with you." I look at it, this, it is a great opportunity. I kept the picture to date. And when I came back, there's a man, Reverend Moses Showale. I met him as well in the community, just like the way you reach out to me. The man reached out to me. He was just encouraging me. So I used to pour my mind to him. This is because that time, I just needed somebody that could patiently listen to me, that this is what I love to do. These people, among others, my teachers, my parents, my other pastors, but these few people, Kanifawa Emi Bishop Oyedepo, John Maxwell, Reverend Moses Showale. In fact, I registered for mentorship with Reverend Moses Showale, and we got to know each other. And I have met some pastors and Redeem as well. So I've learned from so many people, and some I may not be able to see them face to face, and also the like of Sam Adeyemi. Sam Adeyemi said, "A dream not pursued is a generation being destroyed." So that word, I kept it in my heart. So as I pursue my dream, no matter what, no matter the challenge I face, each time I remember that word, I used to, I always believe that there are so many people attached to that dream. I can't afford to give up. If I give up on it, then I'll destroy generations. And that will keep me going. So these few among others that I can mention tonight have really made a great imprint in my heart in the world of leadership.
Great. These are wonderful people. Bishop David Oyedepo, John Maxwell, Chief Kanifawa Emi, and then a host of other people who have influenced you. I think with these people you have mentioned, I can certainly say that you are in a good hand. You had the right people to provide the model for you to follow. Now, let's move into your own area of specialization, which is to mentor teenagers, to mentor kids who are still very little, and then depositing leadership content into them, and then helping them to develop their leadership potential. So I just want to ask you, what is it like for you to teach teenagers and kids leadership principles? What is it like for you? What exactly can you say is your motivation and the drive to keep doing this?
Thank you, sir. One of the most rewarding experiences I have is to develop or help the younger generation never to waste their early years, because most especially in their 20s. I'm over 40 now. So if I look back, I could see some things that, no, these younger ones, they must not miss this. I believe, like when I was in primary school, secondary school, in my state, I used to represent my school at the local quiz debate and quiz competition, state level and federal level. But if I look back now that I want to see the video or print of what I've done when I was little, I can't track it. Another thing is that when I was growing up, I never believed that anybody that doesn't have gray hair like Wole Soyinka, Gani Fawemi can write a book. You have to be a professor. But when I grew up, I got to know that, oh, that was a wrong belief. So I now discovered that, oh, then when I was little, I used to write story everywhere. My mother would say, you are wasting your paper, you are writing. But if I've found one mentor that time, maybe I would have written so many books. So I look at it that, no, since I started mentoring program, I've observed young Black kids in my mentoring program. So the mentoring program is open to all, but those that are there for now, majority, they are Black kids. I saw that they have potential. I look at it, if I don't help this one, they will grow up someday and be saying that how they wish they have somebody to guide them. Right. So I began to encourage them. I began to work with them. For the past 7 years, I've been working with the younger generation. Throughout COVID, I never stopped a class. And today, we have close to 15 kids globally that have published their books. Our leadership program extends to the orphanages. Like I said, I caught that mentality from Gani Fawemi. It's late now. I extended that program to the orphanages, and to the glory of God today, we have 2 orphans that have published their books, and they are selling to make money. I don't want them to be thinking of waiting for people or begging. I want them to start adding value so that they can even forget about their circumstance. And it's happening. I'm happy today that I'm seeing that vision unfolding. Last month, the director of that orphanage in Ipaja, Nigeria, called me and said, school reached out to them that they want them to come over to make presentation. I was exceptionally glad. So I don't want any kid to waste their early years because they can't regain it. And they need a bridge. They need somebody that will help them, that will nurture them, so that in a very close future, when they look back, they will be glad that this is what they will have evidence for how well they spent their early years. This is the motivation. This is the push that I've chosen, that I will sacrifice for this, so that in the next 10 years, when they begin to look back, even in the next 20 years, they will be able to tell their kids that, look, at your age, I've written a book. At your age, I became the president of so club in my school. So I don't waste my time. So I'm looking far in the next 50 years, 30 years, 20 years for those kids. I want them to be able to say some beautiful things for their own children when the time comes. That is a great motivation, a great push, a great, vision that I can't stop to pursue because I look into the future. And I mentor them very early so that they have right principles that will make them responsible husbands tomorrow, that will make them responsible wives tomorrow. I don't want them to grow up and begin to, behave in such a way that they create more work for our pastors or imam out there to do. That is when we fail to inject right principles in them at their formative years, then we'll be building irresponsible future, leaders without knowing. So I see what I'm doing so important for nation building because that is where we need to start from.
Yeah.
So my program focused on character development. In the process, we raise leaders and young authors.
Great. Yeah, it's good to know that you are really doing more than what the eye can see on the surface. You are really doing some of the most groundwork that is shaping the society, that is providing direction for the younger generation. Now, talking about those that have become an author under your mentorship. Now, I want to understand, how do you make them to write? Is it that you teach them how to develop topic, how to develop the chapters of the book? What can you just walk us through the process that you often adopt to make these children, to make these kids write books? There is no doubt about it. I've seen quite a number. I can't even say, I didn't even know there are 15, but I know there have been a lot of kids that I've seen that have published their books under you. So I want to understand, how do you make them do this? What is the process?
Yeah, thank you, sir. The process is simple. Before you can become a published author in my mentoring program, you must have attended leadership classes. You don't just come in and become an author overnight. You must have passed through our curriculum. You must have been trained. You must have watched me, teaching, and you must have been interacting with your peers online or, face to face, developing your interpersonal skills, because we groom them first before they become a published author, because we want them to be able to defend whatever they do anywhere they go. And that is evident in the life of all our published authors. Even if they are sleeping, they can stand to really tell the world about their stories. And they have been invited, in different platforms, even NAACP, Brockton chapter, and they have really demonstrated it. So back to your question. you must attend our leadership training. You must learn about, excellence. You must learn different leadership values. Then I normally organize creative writing class. We have curriculum for it. But I just, maybe sometimes maximum of 7, 8 kids that I can really work with because I still work. So I organize training for them. Then we teach them the basics. Then in the process, we have curriculum that it will be very difficult for a kid to pass through that class and not be able, to discover himself or herself about a specific storyline. So, and over time, we have been able to build a system, because if you want to do anything, you have to build a system. So we have, illustrators, we have editors, and we have a man of God all the way from Texas, that just came in. It's into publishing. So it's part of our system. Whenever the kids come up with their manuscript, we send it around our system. People look at it, it goes through stages. Then our publisher also have a team of editors, reviewer. We look at those books. Then from there, we keep, working with the kids and the parents. So it takes process, it takes time before they can write. But before you can write, you must attend that character development class, because that is our goal. Book writing is just secondary, because we know as a leader, you should be able to write. As a leader, you should be able to make simple presentation. And you cannot even escape these two things, irrespective. Even if you are an engineer, you will need to bid for contracts. So
proposals.
Yeah, you write proposals. So our program is well loaded to, irrespective, of what a child is trying to become in life. Once they pass through that program, they will receive, basic support that will help them in future. Whether you're a medical doctor, nurse, accountant, banker, you will write, you will see the need to write, you will see the need to make simple presentation. That is why our mentoring program is very, very important for kids, most especially kids in the underserved communities.
Now, I know people need to understand this. I don't want to be the one to let out the cat out of the bag. I know you've told me something, but I want it to come out of your mouth. Now, can you give us a specific instance whereby the publication of one of the kids that you've helped to publish actually helped them in getting certain things that ordinarily wouldn't have been possible if not for the fact that those people who were considering that particular person for that opportunity, it was because of the book, the young, I can't remember whether it was a girl or a boy, it was because of the book that he has published that made them to decide, oh, we're going to give you this because we believe you are going to be responsible because of this book. So I just want you to give us an instance, or maybe two.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of that.
Yeah.
A parent called me a few months ago.
Yeah.
Mr. Charles, thank you for what you are doing for the kids. She started, so whenever I get to my, my child's school, people will be saying, that is so person mother, mommy Otto, mommy Otto, mommy Otto. And the woman said, look, this, it's like each time if I get, so this is a mother? Oh, good afternoon. The way I know the parent will be listening to me. I don't just want to mention it. So, say, look, Bro Charles, thank you for what you are doing. And after a while, she called me again, said, my son applied for this program. And when I took him down, a lot of people were called. A lot of people were called. But at that time, when you were saying it, that this is how it works, this will set your kids aside from other kids. Because this thing is not something that is common. That kids will be writing books. It's not common. Even beside Black community, it's not a common thing.
Yeah,
people don't even believe that kids can write.
Yeah.
So he said, when they were interviewing him, and he said, I am a published author. So the interview, the style changed. You mean you wrote a book? He said, yes. Okay. What's the title of your book? Can you tell us about your book? With that, everything's settled. Because, like I said, if a child must write a book, you must pass through our process.
Yeah.
So, at a spot, he was being able to download even the interviewer said, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. So, that is one. Another one was a kid that was trying to change school. She went for the interview. In the process of interviewing her, when I had, okay, yeah, when the first woman called me, I shared the experience on the platform for the kids that, okay, if you go anywhere they call you, make sure if you are a published author, make mention of it. So all the kids in my program now, they have that key. If they go for any interview, they will talk about what they have achieved. And this is exceptional in our community, most especially in the underserved community. Population that maybe to some extent, people don't even believe anything good can come out of them. This is one of the ways they are, taking advantage of to be able to leverage with others. So as I said, yeah, I wrote so book. Even my book has been adopted by one of the top schools in Massachusetts. She got it. She got what she wanted. In fact, different recommendations. She got options to choose from. And I myself have experienced it because I've written books. I know of a job I applied for. And in the course of interviewing, I did mention that it has been a while. I've written a book. You published a book. I say, yeah. So before they know it, they don't even know other questions. We're just talking about the book. And that was 101 golden tips, making your day count. And every interviewer want to make their day count. At the end, I got a job. So we are helping these kids to start building their resume for tomorrow. And they will pass through, if you publish a book with us, we will invite you to come and teach others on our global platform. We groom you to be able to speak, because some kids, maybe their parents will say, okay, we want him or her to develop confidence, to develop this and that. So you must talk in the, in the midst of your peers. And we also encourage parents, and we also follow kids up to, within our power for their school to be able to invite them to talk about their books. Because we know that, we follow right process. And we have confidence in God through them, that anywhere they go, they will make their parent proud, their community proud, their color proud. It's just a unique process to push our kids out there, that their result will be speaking for them. It will be advertising them for excellence. It will be difficult for them to be pushed aside because they have results to show. And if anybody should put any of our published authors now, just put their name on Google. I know maybe some parents might have not even done it. Just put their name on Google. You'll be glad what you see about your kids. So also, admission counselors, they do behind the scene. They check up about your kids and what will come up for your kids. We want people to be saying that we have values. We are value-adding agents anywhere we go. So if somebody should meet me today as a Nigerian, my character, my relationship with that person should make that person to start looking for an avenue to meet the next Nigerian. This same mentality we are imparting in our kids through our mentoring program. So it's a loaded mentorship program, because we want the best for Africa, and we cannot continue to blame the government, blame the school, blame the pastor, blame the imam. We have to look at the gaps and choose to keep working to fill those gaps instead of blaming. This is what I observe. This is what I've chosen. This is the path I want to choose. I would rather find a solution to a problem than to be complaining and be shifting the blame to the government, or to say that pastor have not done this, the imam have not done this, parents have not done this. What am I going to do? This is the path I've chosen to make Africa proud.
Now, talking about Africa, I've always known that Africa has a lot of problems, but I think it was in 2017 or 2018, either of those 2 years, I really became convinced. I've always thought that there are numerous problems confronting us in Africa, but in either 2017 or 2018, I became completely convinced that the biggest problem in Africa is leadership. I don't know whether you also share the same view with me, but I just want to ask you, do you believe, or do you agree with me that the main problem in Africa is leadership problem?
I consciously agree.
Okay.
That the problem that Africa is facing is lack of good leadership. While believing this, leadership remains the solution as well. And if we look at it, it's a very complex thing there are so many things attached to that problem. One, individual. So many people that are doing bad things at their various corners. There will be people that will be blaming the president for the challenges that we are facing. So many parents that will not demonstrate leadership at home. Directors, name them, different professionals, people that will not follow ethics in their own profession, cleaner that will not clean well. Everybody will be blaming the president because they don't know what leadership is all about. And there's nothing that, there's no problem without solution. I know our leaders in Africa, we look at, sometimes people believe having structure, construction of roads, facilities, those are part. But there's one thing that our leaders are yet to begin to invest in, and that is mindset. We are looking away from it. The need for leadership education is, not just in the university alone. I mean leadership education as a life skill, like what we are doing in the community, what transformation, School of Transformational Leadership is doing. It's not just university. This, you brought it down to the community.
Exactly.
This is the path to the solution we need in Africa. It takes people that can truly sit down and think about this in this manner. This is where our leaders need to start investing in as well, not just structures alone. We need to bring that leadership in practice down to the grassroots. Every local government, town, government need to invest, or individual or private people need to come up. If Africa must be able to, solve that problem of leadership, we can see it in the developed nation. Developed nation, they have social services, more that is complementing the effort of the government and businesses. But in Africa, we pay less attention to programs that encourage leadership education. In our churches, in our mosque, we do the little we can do. But when we miss, sometimes we can do a lot in our churches, but when it comes to leadership, it's more, it's not just that we gather people, they pray. For instance, each time I listen to your teaching, when I started listening to your teaching, I saw something unique, right? You are not just teaching, even when you say a word, somebody that love leadership books or that are used to leadership, when they listen to your teaching, they will like to come back. Why? Your teaching, even when you stand on the pulpit, you are teaching. Even someone that is not a Christian will like to listen. That is how to build community, not when we, we pass sermon to people.
Sectionalize everything.
Yes. This area, and if we look at Africa, when it comes to religion, we have a lot. We have a lot. We will not be going deep to this area tonight, but we have a lot to do. We must be able, if I'm teaching, Muslims should be comfortable when it comes to leadership. I'm a Christian. If I'm teaching, Muslims should be comfortable to learn about leadership. If a Muslim person is teaching, Christians should be comfortable to learn about leadership, because leadership has to do with the community, not just religion, not just tribe. These are the areas of our challenges, and it has to do with leadership. So if a Christian, okay, it's a Christian, I just want to force my religion on people. No. As a Muslim, I want to force my religion on people. Leadership education is quite different, it's distinct. And we must begin to look at this, like I said earlier, not just having it as a university course alone, but as a life skill. Make this thing available for people through media. Our media too need to adopt it. We should have in every TV stations hours for leadership education, because he who controls the mind controls the development of a nation. If people, people are learning about leadership, they are learning about this, they are hearing it just like the way we listen to the news. Over time, we'll begin to see results. But we don't have much of this in Africa. We don't pay much attention in social services. Everybody wants to do business. Everybody wants to make profit. And when they make that profit, the mind that they refuse to develop, we not allow them to sleep, to enjoy the profit. We not allow them to sleep. If we look at Nigeria now, at present, we are facing this Boko Haram, all this. Many people will be saying, oh, government is this, government is that. How many people begin to think that these people, what can we do? I know people will say, oh, they won't listen to the teaching. We have to begin to think how to educate the mind of people as well. People, both Christian and Muslim. I shared recently that even in our churches, maybe in Africa, in Nigeria, we have what we call Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria. We should begin to declare maybe one day in a month to talk on leadership, to teach on corruption. Let's assume maybe one of the biggest churches in Africa just declare nationwide the need to teach on corruption every Sunday. Sincerely speaking, a lot of soul will be won at the end of the month. Not just, will be redeemed from, embracing corrupt practices through preaching. We don't do that. It's not common. So church should embrace that. Mosque should embrace that. Social organization like what we are doing, we should embrace that. Next year on our mentorship program, we are focusing more on teaching kids about corruption, why they should hate it, why they dislike it, what the evil of it. Is what we are doing throughout next year, among other things, in our leadership education. So we need this in order to transform Africa. Any other way, we keep making us to keep praying as if God is wicked, whereas God is not wicked. We just refuse to do the right thing. We need to bring leadership education down to everyone. Government should spend, more on it. Teachers, they should have their own. The students should have their own. The obas, there should be seminars in town hall across the nation at interval for our kings. The governor should be having forum where they have international speakers coming to educate. This may sound somehow, but we need it. We need it. We need soft leadership skills. Everybody, the pastors too, they need it. The imam, they need it. Very important, because we want our pastors, our imam, to begin to build creators, creative thinkers, not just people that will sit within the church, for 10 years, not coming up with product or services. It's a great disappointment to pastors and imam. We cannot continue to just sit down praying for economic development when we are not pushing our members to be more, to create. These are the challenges we are having in Africa. If I want to make my pastor proud, I must aim to create products. Like what I'm doing, what we are doing in the community today. My pastor, maybe the church I attended here in US, the Redeemer, I attended Redeemed Christian Church of God. If my pastor should see me, he has to be happy that this product, this is what my son is doing in the community. So if you have people, young ones, like of ages 30 above, that have been in your church for 10 years, 15 years, they don't have any product to show. You need to begin to gather them for leadership education. They are not making you proud. It's not just about having all the members that have to become pastors behind the pulpit. They have to go to the street and, demonstrate the love of God by creating products to really demonstrate that they have received trainings from their pastors. We have a lot of churches in Nigeria. If we begin to, adopt these simple principles, Africa will be transformed. It won't be overnight, but gradually will be transformed. We will raise people that will not destroy our infrastructures after some time, because they are listening, they have learned right principles. They see the importance of working towards nation buildings, not just group or town or tribe building. These are the area of our challenges.
Now, I want to ask you a question that will make you to reflect deeply to how your life has evolved over the years. Do you have any leadership regrets? If this is what I mean, if you have the opportunity to go back in time and restart your leadership journey, what would you advise your younger self, or what leadership pathway would you advise your younger self to follow? Go back in time.
Thank you. If I go back in time, the leadership advice I will give myself, there are two. One, early self-awareness. Two, the need for early mentorship. You see, sincerely speaking, millions people over the age of 50 today, they are yet to discover who they are. And it's one of the reasons for the backwardness of nation. Because a lot of potentials are lying idle in people that keep blaming the government. And millions of them, they are in mosque, they go to mosque every Friday, they go to church every Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like that. Early self-awareness. And I pray that even many of our pastors should be listening to this. We must be very conscious about people, not just pastors and imam alone, even parents or friends in the community. When we observe area of strength of an individual, forget whether that person is of same faith with you. Just have that consciousness that if this potential fail to manifest, it will affect our community. But if this thing should succeed, many more people will gain from it. That is my mentality. And it's very important. But what I've observed over time is that even Christians, sometimes, when they see good thing, not everyone can really publicly identify with what is good. But we choose to keep praying.
Some people just love to stay on the sideline and then keep watching. It's not that they are not appreciating what you're doing, but they just want to be on the sideline and just maybe in their own little way take what you are doing, but not wanting to really be seen, to be fully in support.
Yeah, they don't want to identify. And it's a big issue. You know, it's not, people should be able to identify anything that is good.
Yeah,
if it is good, only. I'm not saying people should identify with wrong values. But the moment you see that this thing is good, for instance, I listen to you, I listen to Joyce, I listen to different people. You are not a direct pastor to me, but I gain, right? I gain from other pastors, I gain from my pastors, and whatever I'm gaining, somebody out there is benefiting without people that I'm listening to getting to know. Very important. Self-awareness. We should encourage self-awareness in our home, in our churches, in our mosque, in our organizations, In fact, in the organization, some people, when they see that somebody has potential, the person become a target. The person become they can just give that person wrong name. Not for anything, but for just what is, they don't just want that thing. So it's happened just not only among the Black community, it will be happening in other places. So if anybody listening to me at the moment, be an agent that encourage early self-awareness. You may not be the person that will gain from it. Anybody that discovers himself very early is a potential nation builder.
That's true.
And number two, mentorship. Don't negotiate it. I was listening to one of my mentors some years ago, and he said that when, precisely John Maxwell, there was a time that he drove far distance to another city, requesting his own mentor that, please, I just need 1 hour of your time. I'm going to pay. Just teach me. All these lessons, have helped me a lot. I apply them too. I traveled this far away. I spent thousands of dollars to just go and learn. Maybe 1 week I pay, do online courses. So these two things, if I reflect and want to advise my younger self, and I'm using this opportunity to also encourage younger ones, prioritize early self-awareness. You see, if we encourage this, most especially immigrants in different parts of the earth, the African immigrant, we need to encourage our kids to be self-aware very early in life, so that even when they become in their early 20s, they will be able to see working for others as optional. This month now, for ages 8 to 13, we have the assignment they are working on this December. And I'm just using this opportunity to share it publicly. If you can just put it into practice as well. Last Saturday, we discussed strength zone for ages 8 to 13. And everyone is tasked to make at least $5 this month. How? You must develop Christmas card, there'll be greeting cards for your parent to buy or for somebody in the community to buy. Then we have to call our parent, please buy them cardboard, engage them. It may look like, what is this? But we are injecting certain mentality in them. From there, if case, as God be, we have it, at the end of maybe 2026, we may see a kid that will come up with a storyline there. That's how we build these kids, and they become authors. So early self-awareness is not negotiable. Many prayers that God will answer, we have to take the first step. So mentorship as well. Let's encourage younger generation. A lot has changed in the world, and many are yet to realize it. Our youth, sometimes people will say, oh, African youth, they don't go to church anymore, they don't go to church. We need to do research. Why are they not going? We need to begin to look at how to transform this trend to build our community. So these are the two pieces, among others, pieces of advice I will give my younger self. Discover who you are very early. Pay for it. Attend seminars. Listen to your pastors. Listen to your imam. Listen to your parents. Do all you can. Go to library. Read biographies. Look at what you can do best and begin to practice it. Take risk. Test your faith. Don't just go to church and pray alone. Get out of that four walls of the church and test your faith. That is when the prayer that your pastor will pray for you will begin to have effect. So those are the pieces of advice I will give to my younger son.
Yeah, so I know the power of vision. Obviously, what you are doing at Smart Kid World. Am I right?
Yeah, Smart Start Academy.
Smart Start Academy. What you are doing in that space is a product of a vision. And I know what it means for you to galvanize people towards a compelling vision, not just a vision, but a vision that compels people to take action. So I just want to ask you, based on your experience, How do you galvanize people around a compelling vision? Vision that makes people to want to take a quick action and move in the right direction.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Once again, one thing about people is that they don't just follow people.
People don't just follow people.
No. They follow values.
They follow values.
They will not just follow your vision. They follow your conviction about your vision. Your conviction, the trust you build over time. Another thing about people is that you want to galvanize them to believe in your vision. You have to make them to be part of the contribution to that vision. You want to create environment for them to express themselves. You want to create safe environment for constructive criticism. This area is something that many people don't cherish. Constructive criticism, feedback is a necessity. If people don't feel safe to talk around you, if they don't feel safe to express themselves, it will be very difficult for you to put them together around your vision. If you are not consistent in what you are doing, it will be very difficult for people to follow you. It will be very difficult for people to follow you. So, to bring people to follow your vision is a gradual work. You have to aim at adding value. People want to see results before they want to see what you are doing. You need proof. And you must be willing to start alone. Don't expect people to just follow you overnight. You must make the sacrifice. You must be ready to invest your time, to invest your resources, and keep at it. And you must know what you really want to achieve. Why am I doing this? Before people can believe in you or what you are doing. Today, maybe we have people that may call from UK for us to mentor their kids. Then when we started, I remember I started sending text messages. Once I just have certain inspiration, then I used to take train from Field Corner to downtown to my workplace. If I sit down on the train, I want to do something. So any idea that is coming, I'll just be typing it. I'll just be sending it. I just create WhatsApp group. That was how we started it. So daily motivation, we just be sending it. Sometimes we just rush to do stuff, but gradually. So gradually. Today is already people far away in another country, Canada, UK, Africa. They ask for one-on-one mentorship for their kids. So you have to be consistent. You have to be real. You have to be real, and you must prepare to be misunderstood if you want to make a difference in life. Because your vision may not just be that compelling to others like you when you started. So you have to know what you want. You have to identify the problem you want to solve and keep at it. Those people that have those problems will find you, maybe around you or far away later.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
I know in Africa,
yes,
I know we don't really have a challenge when it comes to building things. We love to build, you know. When you see a governor who has just won an election, he wants to show that he's competent by building bridges, building stadium. You know, they want to show some kind of relevant project to show that they are working, and that is generally what you find among most Africans. But where the challenge is in the area of progressive improvement or progressive creative ability, so that what is good today becomes better tomorrow, and what is better tomorrow becomes the best another day. So there is this challenge of creating a culture of innovative spirits. So I want to ask you, because this is obviously lacking in our society as Africans compared to the Caucasians, whereby even when something is not really going bad, they are already thinking of the next version of it. For example, every September, Apple is going to release the newest version of the Apple phone. It's not that the previous version, something was wrong with it, but it's just that they already have that inbuilt culture to be innovative, to keep creating things until the most outstanding version of that product emerges. So how do we build a culture where innovation becomes the hallmark of our community?
Thank you, sir. The simple answer I'll give for this is we must learn to reward creativity. Is that aspect in my journey of leadership, with the little experience, the little one we are doing. Africa, we pray more for God, just as if God will come down to do some stuff. But the resources that God has given us, the breath we breathe, the brain, our mind, our eyes, our mouth, our hands, things that God has done, that He has given us. We don't know how to activate them through, encouraging, creative ideas. We are that group of people that we stick more to conventional way of doing things. And anyone that want to create something out of the conventional things, we most often condemn them to be like rebels. And most of the time, these people, that is why you see many people, if they are within a cycle, we just want them to be doing it. This is how we have been doing it. That is, at least, I don't want to say that is how we think in Africa. But this is very common. This is how they do it. Did he want to say that he knows better? For instance, if we look at it, we thank God for what is happening, the revival that is happening across the world today. If somebody just want to teach leadership in a church, it's just look, what is he saying? We are talking about Book of John, somewhere here and there is teaching leadership. So he's going to the world.
Yeah.
I've experienced it. So it's like, no, he's not doing the will of God. If I've not experienced it, I will not be saying it. I know I'm on air. So there are those things that we need to look into. You know, whenever we see people that want to do something different, in leadership, we refer to that as strategy, doing same thing in a different way or doing different thing in the same way. Yeah. So we are yet to mature into that in Africa. So we just want that one way. If he is not doing it the way they have been doing it, is bad. Or it will be like the person hates the existing system. And also some people, because when they discover certain idea that they want to pursue, they are not mature enough as well, not to hate, I put hate the conventional way, but to seek to complement it. But it takes an exceptional spirit, level of maturity to be able to really be around. If you create something new, they don't want to see you closer. It's not that maybe they hate you, they just look at it that, look, this, I don't know how to define that yet. It's not even everybody from that conventional way. We see somebody that is creating something new as a brother or sister anymore. So this kills many creative ideas in other people because they don't want to be treated like the person that just there to do something different. So they will just choose to be, even if they have they are burning in them, they don't want to be misunderstood. So, and if you're that kind of person, if you have that creative idea, don't look at a small system where you are veering from. Keep in mind your nation. Look at the picture of your nation, what your impact will help to change. Don't allow where you are coming from to limit you. And don't hate that system. Keep looking for a way to even give back with any slight opportunity. If I say give back, I'm talking about values to give back. So we must look critically into this area to keep encouraging creative ideas. And if you are being encouraged from a system, look for a way to give back to that system so that that system too, maybe they might grow as well. Because one person can't change the entire world. It takes collaborations. And that collaboration, we keep somebody that veer from existing system. You too know, someday, some people will veer from your system.
Exactly.
If you are yet to see people that veer from your system to start something, to create something, then you are not working as a leader. These are the things that people should understand. And creativity will help us, will push Africa more into collaboration, more than cooperation. What do I mean by that? We tend more to cooperation. We don't look at the need for collaboration. And that limits our creative capability. Well, I'm trying to really define what I mean here. So if you're in a system now, maybe a group of 10 are just working together. They just cooperate on one way. Nobody should think outside that box. So we must begin to think that, okay, if you have an idea from this group, if you have an idea, good idea that can complement what the idea we have in system. So if you choose you want to be on your own, can you be on your own, but you still be with us? That is collaboration. So different pillars working together to achieve common goal. It will help us to grow in Africa and different ideas will be coming up. So that is what I have to say in that area. So we must encourage creativity in our churches, in our mosques. These are the things that will lead to economic development. Somebody that have one idea, maybe the person in the long run, maybe the person is being encouraged from where he's coming from. The person create an office. If the person create an office, we need people to work with them. My pastor was preaching some years ago, and he was making reference to uh, the Jewish people, why they prosper so much wherever they are. I'm that kind of person. If a pastor made mention of something that I don't know, the moment I get to, I'm going to research it. I just want to learn more. So I put into Google, I was just researching what is it that Jewish people normally do that make them prosper. When I saw some video on YouTube, I know that, look, in Africa, we just preach about the Jewish people. We are far from doing what they do. And I saw one leadership principle very common in all those videos about the Jewish. They collaborate. They adopt the principle of collaboration more than cooperation. In the process of collaborating, they cooperate. They don't neglect, they don't do away with collaboration. But more in Africa, we hardly think about collaboration. I've seen some system even in the United States. You just see one big organization. Within that big organization, you see different people doing different things. Like whenever we go to school to teach leadership, you see this big organization. Somebody will be taking, some organization will be handling maths, others English, other ISL, and there you see them getting bigger things from the government. But it's not just so, it's an area we need to work on. It's an area we need to work on. And a lot, we're not here tonight to discuss religious. A lot has really impacted us religiously. So if I'm a redeemed member now, or I'm a CSC member, I don't just see the need. If it is not within my church, so other people that the idea is not something, or they are not really close to God or what. So that wall needs to be, it needs to be broken. People need, not just only Christians, even among the Muslims, they have different this thing there too. So we need to begin to see how can this wall be broken, that will enhance creativity in people, that will lead to the nation development. That will lead to nation development. So most of these factors are the reason for the backwardness of Africa. Well, that is what I have to. The more we talk about it, the more we keep saying more things to talk about.
All right, thank you very much. Now, I don't know if this has happened to you before, but I know it has happened to me on a number of occasions, whereby you'll be talking to somebody who is not from Africa, or to an or to an African American, and they want to impress you that they've been to a particular country in Africa, and they will, rather than, because Africa is there is so much diversity in Africa. For example, in Africa alone, we have about 53 or 54 countries in Africa. Even within those countries, you have, like Nigeria, for example, now we have close to about 250 different ethnic groups in Nigeria, for example, and about over 700 local governments. And then somebody will come to you and then they will tell you that he has been to Africa before, and then you'll be wondering, and you that they are talking to, you be wondering, what do you mean by Africa? Because you know that there are distinct country groups within Africa that will make that person's conversation more meaningful to you than when somebody just tells you that I've been to Africa. That doesn't really make any sense to you. But if you tell me you've been to Lagos, then it can easily spur my enthusiasm to want to have a conversation with you. So in other words, what I'm saying is that there is so much diversity in Africa. Different ethnic groups, different tribal groups, and then, of course, for me personally, I don't believe that this diversity should necessarily be a problem, although we as Africans, we've treated it as a problem amongst ourselves. But for me, I see it more as an opportunity for us to collaborate, just like you said, bringing our different diversity together to create something. Because, for example, if you look at the ecosystem, our global ecosystem, there is so much diversity. You look at the animal kingdom, for example, you see diversities of animal. You look at the plant kingdom, you see diversity of plants. Everywhere you look into, you see diversity. You look into our solar system, into the universe, you see varieties of things. So which means God is not necessarily limited to conformity. Everybody just conforming into one thing. There is God himself loves diversity. So I want to ask you, how can we as Africans benefit from our rich cultural diversity? And particularly if we want to reflect on our nation, Nigeria, how can we really allow this to play out in the development of our country in Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you. Our diversity is one of the greatest assets we have, because people are assets. And everything we need to be great is already deposited in people, in a different capacity. So the more diverse we are, that means it defines how rich we are compared to those people that are not really diverse. So the question is, how can we maximize the values in our diversity? There are different ways, so many different ways. but I will just hit on maybe one or two. Like in Nigeria, we have different, in fact, I'm from Ondo State. So Akoko alone, the two towns very close to each other, they don't even understand their language, each other's language. You know, and you discover that different community, they have unique strengths.
You know, I almost mistook you for an Igbo man.
So I'm from Ondo. So I'm from Ondo State. So we have different, very close to each other. We don't understand our language, and yet we have different resources that, you know, that apply to different groups of people. So this is where we should think that God has blessed us so much. But our blessings is in one another. And until we embrace unity, and unity is not just uniformity.
Unity in diversity.
In diversity. So, and until we begin to embrace our diverse values, we have to start from schools. Unfortunately, when we look at our history, when people are talking about history, if you see a Yoruba man, an Igbo man discussing politics now, you can just take that test, discuss politics with Igbo man. I mean, most especially those that have knowledge of Biafra, Ojukwu, Awolowo. If they want to begin to bring out the history, they'll be talking about the negative parts that breed division. So we must start in our, right from our elementary school. If you are teaching, maybe if you teach history or you are teaching leadership, try to cite examples from different tribes, ethnic groups. That we begin to help our kids to appreciate the values in our diversities. For instance, you are discussing education. The way Awolowo tried for the West, we have some people that try for the North. We have some people that try for the East. We have to begin to, bring that understanding in such a way that these younger generations, we begin to embrace it that we are one. It must start from educating the mind of people. But when we keep dwelling on the negative side, we begin to hate one another. We begin to just dislike one another. We don't see any value. And the more we do that, the more we fence ourselves from benefiting from one another. I remember when I finished my degree that they sent us for NYC to go and serve the nation. Before I was sent to the northern part, the mentality I had was just totally wrong. When I got to the northern part, I served in Jos. When God wants to really make me to truly serve, He sent me to Sharia Court of Appeal. As a Christian.
Wow.
I was sent to the Sharia Court of Appeal. When I received the letter, okay, I did not reject it. Do you know, two of us were sent to Sharia Court of Appeal, a Muslim and a Christian. When I got there, I was the only person that they accepted. You see, and sincerely speaking, they took good care of me. I'm saying it today. I got to meet some of the caddies there, that school at University of Ibadan. They were discussing how they enjoy Ibadan, how Yoruba people, what they did, things that I don't even know. So I was able to build, like, coming from Lagos, I have some of my colleagues in the office that time that don't really know how to do work on online. They don't using computer like that. And I don't understand Hausas. So we form friends. I will take them to cyber cafe. I will teach them. They say, Kingen, I myself, we related well. We related well. That is who we truly are naturally as Nigerians. But politics and religion divide us, mess us up. If somebody should ask me, if you are given opportunity to serve again, I would like to serve with those set of people. During the afternoon, if they are going to the mosque to pray, even the caddies will say, "Oh, Charles, you go." There's one church in front of our office, Constitution Road, #1 Constitution Road in Jos. There's a church opposite. Say, "Oh, yeah, you're going to pray there?" Then things were still very good. We embrace each other's values. They even want to return. They want me to stay. But I said, no, I'm going back to Lagos. So these are ways. My colleague in the office, they will be teaching me Hausa, and I will be teaching them Yoruba. But now, what is happening now has messed up. I believe things will still change for my country. I will never lose hope. I still want to see days like that coming back to play, where people, irrespective of your religion, you live together in harmony. In my family, we have Muslim, we have Christian. During Salah, we don't hate each other. But now, in the mosque, if they are teaching, maybe they say Christian is bad, maybe some Christian too say the Christian. So they mess up everything. So we must begin to teach our values, making good examples, on one subject matter in such a way that it touches other tribe, groups. We bring them together, make good examples, not just that, okay, if I'm teaching leadership, I just want to keep talking about Awolowo, what Awolowo did alone. I want to do research to see what some people in the Hausa land, in the Igbo land, in the Ibibio, in the Delta, or, Irobo, Ilaje, we research that. So we bring the beauty of everything to our younger generation.
Thank you, Coach, for taking time out. We've spent nearly 2 hours having this conversation together. There is this one more question. It's actually the last question for this podcast. I usually love to understand how the mindset of my guests work, people that I've seen who have done great work for the community, for the society. I always want to understand how they plan their day, how they reflect how they process their day-to-day activities, because in understanding how they process their mundane life, it helps me to be able to go into their life and uncover how they are able to get to where they are today. So in that light, I want to ask you, how do you practice self-reflection?
Thank you. I will again refer to Bishop David Oyedepo. When I was, working, I also attend Winners. When he was preaching and he was saying, and he said, that time I don't even have a plot of land. I was just a young graduate. He said, whenever if you want to build a house, that all his houses, wherever he goes, he used to prioritize one room
For a study.
for his study and prayer. The man of God is not with us here. So I just magnet it that, look, if anytime, anywhere I will go, if I'm going to build 2 bedrooms, one room will be for library and for prayer. So, and when God blessed me to have my property when I was still in Nigeria, I have a room. I call it prayer room because of what the man of God preached. In that service, I wrote it down. When I got to America, I prioritize library, home library, and also I used to go out. Another thing, I'm just trying to pick them one after the other. Every month, I must have a book that I want to buy. When I just started, when I got my first job, because that time, you go to church, you learn, and I make sure I buy. The moment I got my first job as a Christian, the first thing, I bought a Bible, the one at home, one in my office. Then at the end of each month, I invest in myself, because Bishop will say you got to invest in yourself. Invest in books. I can never recover from those ministrations. So I invest in books. In fact, here, my wife will know, I know your daddy we buy books. So I'm used to it. So I can't do without reading. I can't do without studying. Just as I study my Bible, I have books. Another thing I do, my vacation at work, that we have like family time whereby maybe me and my wife, we take time out, out of our vacation to like a day to study, just anything, like just go to the library or at home, we study. Anywhere I work, if I'm given like 3 weeks vacation or 4 weeks vacation, 1 week we go for personal study. A day that I just want to maintain solitude. I drop my kids in school, I get back home. I just want to choose to do something. I don't want noise. I don't want noise. There are days I have some hours, no matter the cost, I get my phone far away from me. I just want to think. And time that I'm not reading, I just want to sit down. And I love, they may call it some, may call it old school music. I love listening to Ebenezer Obey because of the words of wisdom in his music. Maybe the younger generation may not know him. I love listening to him. Most time, if I listen to him, I got exceptional inspirations. So I do that, and we do daily devotions, non-negotiable. And another thing I do, which is very common to even any parents that have kids in my leadership training school, I used to encourage, I chat with parents. I wrote a book. Let me see. I wrote this book like Everyday Leadership, 365 Years of Wisdom to Break the Cycle of Poor Leadership. I wrote this book 2 years ago, and I encourage all parents to get the book, to have a copy in the car. So I have this one in my car. If I'm dropping my kids off, we read each thought each day. They will be the one that will read it, and they will be questioning. So these are different ways, because anything you are doing, you want to also carry your family along. So we do that like every morning. So we finish this one, then we go to another. We are studying Billy Graham daily devotional. So we study different devotionals, different years, so that we'll be together, we'll be on the same page.
Great.
So those are the steps that I take. And my family, there's understanding. If I'm like now, I'm in the library. So my family will know anything that I have to do. Okay, we have to pray before. So I've organized that. I have to eat. Then when they know, if my wife comes to library, I know no disturbance. If I'm there, no disturbance. So it helps me. So that's how I do. So, and every year I have specific authors that I choose to study their books. This year, I'm studying the book written by Donald Trump. And from there, in fact, if people want to really understand more about him, just read his book. Yeah. So I just choose random.
I read his book several years ago as an undergraduate. That was even before he even thought of becoming president.
Yeah.
Those things that I read about him actually helped me to understand his mindset.
Yeah.
So
success, business.
I don't think I have any surprise as to what he's doing today, because
yes,
you can see his lifestyle.
He never backed down for anything.
Whatever you see now, they are in those books.
Yes, I choose like last year, just different ways. Maybe if I'm going to work, if I want to listen to video, maybe I'm listening to Obama, I'm listening to Michelle, I'm listening to different people, irrespective of their political ideologies or differences. I don't fence myself like like anybody may do. I'm open. I want to learn. And I've been built to focus on values.
And I think that is the way every one of us should approach life. We should be, even the Bible also enjoins us to learn from the dry tree. So it's not only people that share the same worldview with us that we should learn from. We should also learn from those who are also opposed to our worldview, so that we can also understand the standpoints of their arguments. That is the only way we can make intelligent conversation with them. If we don't understand their standpoint, we will never be able to know the ground where to foot our arguments. And that, for me, that's what I've been doing.
It's very, very good. Every year, next year, I will look for, another different author that I want to read their books. So that's what I do every year. And that's why I used to tell people, if you know me like few minutes ago, maybe 1 hour ago, if you now meet me now, just be very sure that you don't know me, because if I might have read the book, so I've changed in self-worth, so you don't know me. So, and that has been so helpful. So I read different. If I listen to different pastors, I don't just listen maybe to Daddy Adeboye alone. I don't listen to Oyedepo alone. I listen to different people trying to draw values that I can establish in the Bible. So I can read anybody's book, but by the grace of God, I've been built. I can't go back to the world, and I cannot be influenced away from God anymore. So I can only test people's value if it works with what we have in the scripture. So it has been so helpful. People should try to set days aside for solitude. They said the need for you to build wisdom, you must choose to maintain solitude. Because in a moment of quietness, mind attracts uncommon wisdom. So I do that a lot. And I like I said, I love Ebenezer Obey music. I love praises. So I draw inspirations from those. They may look secular to some people, but I know how I blend my learnings.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you, Coach Charles Awodu. This has been an excellent conversation with you for the past 2 hours.
Thank you, sir.
I hope we can find time to have another leadership conversation sometimes in the future. But before then, I want to wish you all the best and to also appreciate you for the good work you are doing among the teenagers in Smart Kid Academy. So we want to thank you for your good work. Hope to be able to have another conversation with you at another time. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for the invitation. What you are doing in the community, looking for younger generations that are doing one thing or the other in the community is a great thing. And I want to say, on behalf of others that you might have not been privileged to connect, this is what younger generations are looking for. And I want to also use this avenue to speak to all our religious leaders. Spot potentials, draw them closer. Don't condemn, ask them questions, and find a way to ensure that they stick to what they said they want to do. But try to check first before you identify with them to make sure that they are in Christ. The moment you observe that any younger generation, youth, young adults are in Christ, do all you can to bring them out. On your pulpit, talk about what they are doing in the community. They don't need to be your church member. As I am not your church member, I don't donate a dime to your ministry. I listen to your messages. You don't know me from anywhere, but you reach out to me from afar. So this is what I want to encourage all our pastors to start doing. And I like the pattern where you are bringing leadership to the pulpit. It may not be a popular thing among the African, but this is what other colors are doing that make them look as if maybe they know better. They know, but um, I want all our churches, irrespective of denominations, we should go beyond our four walls to spot talented young Africans and begin to push them. That's how we can bring revival to the leadership challenges in Africa and our host countries. Thank you once again. It is a privilege to be here, and anytime you need me, I will be available.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome, sir. Yeah, bye, sir.